Good night and welcome once again to Up to Haystacks, brought to you on WITH News Network. I am your host, Mr. O'Reilly High, and our show tonight is brought to you compliments of KFF, where you can get honey barbecue wings on your pizza. Tonight, one of the more interesting topics, we're going to speak about the uniform implementation in schools. Tonight, our special guest with us is Matthew Bullen. He's a representative from the Barbados Principals Association. He's going to speak with us tonight and share a little bit of his views on how we are following the rules handed out by that association. Good night, Mr. Bullen. Welcome to the show.
Good night, sir. Thank you very much for my welcome. And I hope we are able to cover all the topics that we need to tonight to make this thing extremely crystal clear.
Well, anything you would like to say? I was speaking to you earlier and you were mentioning a couple students that performed well and you just wanted to highlight them to the nation to let the people know what they have achieved. You can go ahead with that, Mr. Bullen.
Well, yeah, I'd just like to mention Darren Matthews here. He's a cyclist.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's cyclist here for Barbados. And 15-year-old here, Crystal Hippolyte, yes, of Garrison Secondary School. She placed third in the 39th International Letter Writing Competition. Now, this seems to be a very, very big thing here. Yeah, she did very, very well in that. Yeah, so we'd like to give her props for that.
Well, Crystal Hippolyte and Darren Matthews, I hope you're listening, or someone who knows them, I hope you're listening and you can let them know that we are highlighting them. We have to highlight all positive achievements. Okay, let's go on to the topic here tonight. Recently, we would have read that two principals of two of the major schools in Barbados suspended over 100 students for not carrying out the proper dress codes. As you being a representative of the Barbados Principals Association, what do you think about the stance that these principals took?
Well, personally, and as part of my job, I support them 100% because we take steps and measures.
Go ahead.
We take steps and measures to make sure that these things don't happen.
So what are these steps? So how do you go about? Would you say that the punishment was too harsh, or are these steps put in place to ease the effect of it?
I don't think these punishments are harsh at all. These punishments are actually perfect. On inception into school, you're given, the parents and the students are both allowed to see the dress code. And after being given that, then I don't think anything after that should be you shouldn't be confused by anything after that, because given a dress code, that's what you need to wear, how you need to dress in order to enter our facilities.
Okay. Is it that once you are found to go against this dress code, you're immediately suspended from school, or is there a process that you take?
No, that's not the case. That is a grave misconception. The steps here indicate that we issue, all teachers and the principal must issue and document this, a verbal warning to the student.
And this would imply that they are not following the guidelines set.
Yes, if you fall out of line, you are issued a verbal warning and you are then flagged. After that warning and there is no change in the student, then we issue you a written warning. That's where we make the parents aware that something is definitely wrong with the uniform they have provided for their child.
And how do you ensure that the parent does actually receive this written warning? Do they have to sign and return it?
Well, yes, that is the standard, that the parent will have to sign and return it, showing that they have seen it and acknowledge that the uniform is incorrect.
So once the parent has received this and the child has received the verbal warning and there is still no change, which is a blatant show of insolence on part of the parent and the child, the parent more so encouraging the child to go against the rules, what then do you do?
Well, it's plain and simple. As you saw the two principals did the other day. Suspend them. Suspension is then the only choice, because you're not allowed to come onto our property with the incorrect dress code.
So what does suspension achieve? What do you hope to achieve by suspending students? Does the uniform, should I say, does the lack of following the correct uniform guidelines take away from the students' ability to learn, in your opinion?
This is not about their ability to learn, so to speak. This is about respecting, because remember, we're training young minds for the workplace, and they need to learn how the world works. Now, if you're working, let me say, at a bank, and they require you to shave and to wear a tie, I don't think they would keep you employed if you don't shave and you don't wear a tie. That's their dress code. Those are their rules. Now, this is a simple thing from the school. These are our rules that we just need you to follow. And plus, these are children. These are children. These are adults.
I understand that. Well, folks, there you have it. Thank you very much, Mr. Bullen. What I'm going to ask you to do...
It's a pleasure being here.
Well, what I'm going to ask you to do is stay with us a couple minutes more in the studio while we take some live calls, and persons can have the opportunity to speak with you and ask you questions if they are willing to, and they can also share their opinions. So callers, we take to the phone line tonight, and we're going to see what you guys think about this suspension practice. Good night, caller. You're live. What's your opinion?
Good night.
Good night.
My name is Jalissa.
Good night, Jalissa.
And I don't like that man, because he sent me home the other day, and all I had, my skirt was just a little bit long, and I ain't get in the house because my mother went to work and I was locked out, so I had to be in town all day, and I was real tired and I had nowhere to go.
Okay.
He could have let me stand inside the school, and we could have wear the uniform, how we don't want to wear it, and we could have looked real hot, because that's how we don't want to go to school.
Okay, Jalissa, thank you very much for sharing that. But before you go, I want to ask you a question. Were you issued with a verbal warning?
I get a warning. No more than me name.
So a teacher just happened to, you know...
Listen. I go to school, I get sent home. It's as simple as that.
All right. Thank you very much for that view. We're going to move on here to another caller we see. Good night, caller. Your life. What's your opinion?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night. I honestly believe that what those principals did was wrong.
Why do you say it was wrong?
Because I sent my child to school to learn. To learn, not to be sent home. To learn.
Well,
now, if I send my child to your institution, that's where you should keep my child.
Well, we understand that, but did you receive a written warning from the principal brought to you by your daughter or your son?
Well, honestly, I'm very busy. I don't get the chance to check through my child's school bag, and sometimes the homework might slip me, but I try to keep in touch.
All right, caller, thank you very much for that. Remember, parents, the responsibility is yours to ensure that your children are following the rules. They say that respect starts at home, and if you teach your child that early, they will follow it eventually. We're going to take another call. You see this caller here. Good night, caller. You're live. What's your opinion? Yeah, good night. Yeah, this question is for Mr. Bullen. Good night, Mr. Bullen.
Yes, hello, good night.
All right, listen. Question. You there, so too, Mr. Hyde? Yes, I'm here, caller. You share your opinion. All right. Here's what. Why is it that they're sending home children? Why, right? They can't remove the students from the classroom and call the parents to the school, because there should be some sort of contact information for the parents to be able to be reached when the children are being incident. So can't there be a way? Because when you have children on the road after leaving school at an early hour, how are they able to function when the parents are at the workplaces?
Well, Mr. Caller, you have to think about this. There are over, I honestly believe, over 50 students at home. Now, imagine me calling from 9 o'clock till whatever time I finish. All of these parents.
But hold on.
No, think about this. This is my job as well. I have a job to do. And I can't be sitting down at a telephone, or my staff, who's going to watch the students. We can't be sitting at a telephone, calling.
But hold on, Mr. Bullen. Question. We understand already, right? That people don't follow the rules. You understand? We understand that they don't follow the rules. But what good is it? What good is it, right? Sending them back in school. That's all they got to say. You enjoy it, Mr. Hyde. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much, caller, for that opinion. That was a pretty tough one there, Mr. Bullen. We do appreciate your opinion. And
I don't think it was pretty tough at all, because I think if we understand that they can't follow the rules, then we need to put measures in place to make them follow the rules.
Alright, thank you very much. We want to remind you that our show tonight is being brought to you by K-Effect, where you can get honey barbecue wings on your pizza. We're going to take a last call as we are running short on time. Good night, caller. Your life. What's your opinion?
Good night. It's Tony here, man.
Good night, Tony. Once again, it is a pleasure to have you here on the show. Good night.
Listen, man. I think that when I'm talking vagrants when I'm talking. Listen, if that is me, I send her home. Send her home, man. Listen, you can't tell me. I tell you, come school, Cody, in one uniform. You can't school this little short skirt, or this fella here got he pants too big. Send her home. Listen, you know what? When my mother dressed me for school, and I left the house, she said, listen, boy, you go to school, and you keep your hair neat, and your nails clean. Cause when you get to school, and principal check your nails, got to be clean. Or else you get lashes me, licks like pepper. Before you get 5 houses down the road, and you sure tell, oh, you damn know you mother can't you behind you the way, because listen, we had a cell phone, we had a BlackBerry, we had the internet, and yo, how you mother find you? And you know? Listen, you licks like peas.
Alright, Tony.
Listen, send the home, man, they're doing right thing. I go on, good night.
Good night, Tony. Good night to you. Your passion is always admirable. Thank you very much, callers, for sharing your opinion here with us. We want to thank you for tuning in every night. We want to thank you again, Mr. Matthew Bullen, the representative from the Barbados Principals Association. Thank you very much for sharing us.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much. We also want to thank once again our sponsors, KFET, where you can get honey barbecue wings on your pizza. Join us again tomorrow night, where we have another interesting topic for you to share your opinion.